You're listening to the UK Christian Hip Hop Podcast on Kingdom Culture. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the episode 28. Wow, 28 of the UK Christian Hip Hop Podcast on Kingdom Culture. I'm joined as always with yours truly, Calvin Venus and DJ Cassie. What's good? What is good with y'all? Yeah, we need to get some sound effects. I mean, we've been saying
I'm trying to just light it right here, right? Now I look like I'm about to do, you know, when you're going with the covers and then you
yeah.
That's what I think
Nightmare on Elm Street kind of thing.
Yeah.
Kaz, I mean, Calvin, you was talking about hot cross buns that you missed that. You don't have that over in the States?
All right, so look, was it Lent's coming up in that? And it made me think of Easter. And you guys were talking about Pancake Day, and I missed Pancake Day. Even though I didn't even have pancakes when I was there, it was like I miss having Pancake Day because in school we used to wear our own clothes and that, and just there was always something special on a day. You know what I mean? And so it's just like, oh right, yeah, it's been a few years since I even mentioned Pancake Day.
So, he's just frozen right at the moment.
Frozen, yeah.
Around the corner.
So I was gonna say, just to add insult to injury. I think I've had 6 hot cross buns today.
What?
Soft and delicious with extra sultanas.
No, wait. Sorry,
yeah.
how much? 6?
Wax them.
So you've gone in if you bought it from a well-known company in Sainsbury's, right? That means you went for a packet and a half then because they have 4 in the pack.
No, so I went to Asda and they do a pack of 6. And my wife bought 2 packets. Yeah. And I just thought, wax it, man. I can't help it, man. I start eating it. I see the sultanas. I'm like, oh, this is delicious. It's weird though. I don't see hot cross buns to do anything with Easter. It's only about 2 years ago when I realized the whole cross on the bun kind of thing. And I was like, what?
But what do you think about the hot cross buns with the flavors though? You know, there's one with is it salted caramel?
Yeah, and chocolate. Nah, you know, I'm a guy that likes original. You know, I like ready salted.
I can't do raisins, big fat round thing raisins in cakes. I don't like raisins in cakes if I could see the raisin that it looks like a raisin, I'm not in it. Yeah,
I'm all for raisins. I think raisins are delicious. Yeah. Raisins is like black and white chalk and cheese, isn't it? You either love it or hate it.
Like Marmite.
Oh my gosh, I wish I could find a picture. I saw Marmite, a new flavor of Marmite. I beg you, let me just try and find it because I really want to be accurate.
A new flavor of Marmite.
A new flavor of Marmite. Think of the atrocity. A new flavor of Marmite. Aha, here we go. I'm gonna hold up to the screen. Sorry for the ones on the podcast listening. Calvin's just dropped out. I'm gonna show you what they decided to do with Marmite. How they tried to create a new flavor of Marmite. So I'm gonna hold it to the screen for Cass and everyone watching on YouTube. Marmite peanut butter. What on earth are you doing? And it's got like the oil. I don't know if you can see the oil at the top.
Oh no, that's not even.
You see how the oil was settled at the top? That's nasty, man.
Already, when you eat it, you're like, you know, when you eat something, it's like,
yeah. And have the cheek to say no added sugar, like that's gonna make it any better. You need to add sugar to that thing. It's nasty, man. Marmite peanut butter. I don't know, again, Marmite. So some people who actually love the taste of Marmite.
My son loves Marmite because it was given to him as his grandma would give it to him as a baby, so he likes the taste. I think because he was brought up with it. I never had it in my household, but anytime we went to his nan's house, she would give him that. So he likes Marmite.
It's strange because I love Supermalt, but I question: do I love Supermalt because I was brought up on it? Nobody I know who's tasted Supermalt while they're grown up go, yeah, that's a nice drink. Come like Coke or Fanta. They don't like it.
I like Supermalt.
Was you brought up on Supermalt?
Yes, that's the thing, yeah.
Every party, every function, grandparents would have
right there
4 crates kind of stacked up in the corner. You just,
yeah.
I remember as a kid, I used to pretend I was drinking alcohol because obviously it was coming in a bottle.
Yeah,
so as a kid, I was like, yeah.
Closest to get into it.
Yeah, exactly. I remember those things, but I genuinely do not think Supermalt tastes nice, even though I enjoy it. Yeah. I know it sounds weird what I'm saying, but if I was to taste it now as an adult, I'll be like, that's not a nice drink.
Yes, it's a malt drink. It's not really...
It's a childhood kind of drink, isn't it? It's you
have to be brought up on it.
Exactly, like rum for me. like as a Caribbean man, yeah, I'm supposed to like rum because that's part of my kind of like, you know, Caribbean rum and Captain Morgan kind of whiskey. I don't know, you know what I'm trying to say, that all of that kind of drink.
I don't like rum.
I don't like rum. I never drank it.
Too much in a cake either.
I don't mind rum cake, but when you overdo it, it's a bit stodgy and heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not for that. But I don't know, there are some things that they make in the supermarket that is just absolutely disgusting. Like literally, like I know gluten, yeah. There are some people who literally cannot handle the gluten inside certain things. But gluten, when you get gluten-free stuff, honestly, I taste it and I'm like, this does not taste that. Yeah, maybe because my tongue is accustomed to like sugar and preservatives and as part of me and all of these other things. But there was some nastiness. Oh, sorry, Calvin, I didn't show you. Yeah, you know what Marmite is, isn't it, bro?
Yeah. That's where I left off. You were talking about some new flavors, and I was a Marmite out guy.
Marmite out, brother. Do you like peanut butter, bro?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, cuz here comes the sacrilege, brother. I'm gonna show you something. Yes, brother.
Marmite and peanut butter, like in a swirl type of thing.
Is that in the supermarket? You saw it?
Yep, that's the picture I took. You see that? Marmite crunchy peanut butter, bruv. Can you see how the thing at the top, what that oil residue, like, what is that? So we're just kind of saying,
I'll be interested though. Well, I've never been a Marmite fan.
I think I'll get it for my son so he can try it. This is so he can tell me. I'm not going to try it though.
Me and my wife was kind of like having a bit of a, not an argument, but a disagreement in the kitchen about how great mushrooms are. And I find mushrooms, the texture, the flavor, the smell, just off-putting.
Yeah, you gotta have it mixed up with stuff. I don't want to taste the mushroom.
I don't want to see it either.
I just like what mushroom does to meals. That's about it, you know.
I don't want to see it either.
Food is simple.
I heard what you're saying about raisins. Raisins, it's another funny thing. I like raisins, but I don't want it in my face.
Yeah.
I mean,
gee, I could eat it like sweets, man.
When I have a fruitcake, my nan knows how to make it. She'll blend, literally, she sort of blends the fruits together. But, yeah, so I don't see it.
See, that's another thing I miss. Jamaica cake. Oh, man.
Do you guys ever like the McVitie's ginger cake?
Oh, yeah.
With custard? What? Oh my days.
I eat that like bread. I just grab the whole thing, peel it back and just...
Yeah. The only thing is sometimes it's a little crunchy, but what I used to do is get like sort of vanilla ice cream and then break it. So you have the breadcrumbs over it.
Oof.
Oh, yeah. You know
what? I might even try that, you know.
I'm going to try that while I got vanilla
ice cream. That sounds nice.
Because like, you know how crunchy it is, right? Especially when you get them real soft whips. You want it, you want the real soft, then you get that weird crunchy soft. It's nice.
Are we talking about the same cake?
Yeah, the McVitie's one. Not ginger nuts, you know, ginger cake. You know, Jamaican McVitie's ginger cake.
Oh, I thought you meant. Sorry, my bad.
I know you meant ginger nuts.
Yeah, I was thinking about ginger nuts. Yeah.
Jamaican ginger cake with custard.
Did you ever like have like a local bakery next to you? Yeah, that done. You know that brown bread? Yeah, it's not bread. Yeah, it's like bread, but it's not. It's sweet. I forgot what it's called. Bun.
Oh, bun. Oh, yeah,
one. See, I can have raisins in
bun or bulla? Which one? I can have bun, right? But I still pick
bulla's cool. Bulla's cool. Bulla, you really need. Like, I need my tea with bulla.
I know your tea and your biscuits.
You know, I'm like with my tea. Like bulla, you can't eat in a hurry. Yeah,
you can't. That's very stodgy.
Yeah, definitely dodgy. You want that's something you take your time with. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you have harder bread out there, Calvin? Oh no! No!
I miss it. I miss it. Oh gosh!
Oh no!
I miss bulla. I miss bun. I miss Jamaica cake. I miss ginger cake. Oh gosh, I miss it all.
Man, the next time you're over in the UK, bro.
Tell me they got yam over there as well. You must have yam.
Yeah, there's enough Nigerians out here. I don't cook it, and I don't make myself. I'm not. You know, I wish I had more time because I know my girls will love that kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
It's weird. My son absolutely does not like Caribbean food, but my daughter, she'll wax it, man. From the fish, the salt fish, to the hardo bread, to the plantain. Oh man, I do love Caribbean food. It is delicious, man. Yeah. It's one thing we can all agree on. It's amazing how food is similar to music, isn't it? How individual it can make people, but collectively bring people together. It's almost
But-
like, you know, certain tastes, like, you know, I might not like mushrooms. I like mushrooms. I don't like the texture of spaghetti, or I like spaghetti, or I do like this. And you can mix flavors and different textures and different smells together to create a different, you know, community, if you know what I mean. Like, you know, you think about enchiladas for those of like Mexicans, and then you think of like, you know, like yam dashing for the Caribbeans, and you think of fufu for the Africans, and, you know, of different places, like you think of so many different delicacies, how it brings people together in different ways, and music kind of does that as well. There's
you know
people
why
that
I
like,
call the food now, innit?
come again?
Now you know why I'm called the food.
Oh, well, oh,
Interesting, interesting. Is that where you got the inspiration from, kind of like food and music
Kind
together?
of that plus, you know, Christ is the bread of life, and
Yeah.
you know, it's the, you remember how like after Jesus broke bread and, well, the loaves and fishes to 25,000 people, because, you know, he said 5,000 men, so it could have been the families, could be 25,000 from, like, you know, this one kid. And think about that one kid, you know, like people like to make investments, yeah, and you want it to grow big. That kid had the seed investment for 25,000 people, man. He gave up his meal, you know. I don't know how many people will give up his meal for anybody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But anyway, sidebar that was. But yeah, just like, you know, when Christ was going around, people would start to follow him, and it, you know, you could see that people were like, you can gain the sense that people were like, oh, do that thing again with the bread. You know what I mean? We were full and there was stuff left over. You know what I mean? And so that's basically what the bread of Christ would do for us. Not so much what he did in breaking the bread, but he will fill you in a way that nobody else can. And so that's what food audio is really pointing to him.
Oh, that's real, man.
But it is centered, you know, bread means company as well.
Yeah.
To break bread means company.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's basically what the food is about. It could have been the bread, but then it'd just be, you know, even more obvious. You know, but and also remember when you know, the disciples, the fishermen especially, were like looking at the beach and they were like seeing Christ, and Christ like, hey, come on, you know what I mean? And then the first thing that Christ did was like he made them breakfast.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
breakfast,
So
yeah.
I would imagine anything that Christ does pertaining to food would just be full and wholesome, and that's basically what I was pointing towards in my business. So yeah,
Solid, man.
Food, man.
Well, it's good to know that you've got like the foundations of not just running ahead with something, but, you know, you've got foundations to always come back to remind yourself of the reason why you're building, the reason what you're doing for. That's really, really good to hear. And even that comparison,
when I'm in the studio, people think, yeah, the kitchen, the lab, you know, you're cooking up beats. You know, that analogy just fell on me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Solid. Has anyone heard any new music over between this and last episode? Has anyone heard anything that's gone, yeah, you know what? Like, that's a tune.
Oh yeah, I did, you know. Two things. Like it was kind of good to hear like SO with Bizzle and Dayton. Both remix, because I actually like the song. I think I like the song live more than I do on the, you know, on the actual album. But I think what stood out to me was like let me see, Triple O's track. His EP was cool. Like,
oh, you've listened to it? Have you listened to it?
Yeah, because I had to give it time, because, you know, I mean,
it's been out. When did it come out?
It's about a week or two, isn't it?
No, but last week. You've listened to it earlier than everyone. Then I think it came out
Friday.
Oh snap! Yeah. Okay. Maybe promoting it hard or something. I don't know. Because I'm usually a slow listener, so you're right. I must be listening to it early, but I'm trying to find. I'm trying to think.
A song on there. There was a song.
Has anybody else heard it?
I've listened to one song on there. Well, two actually. 2.5. And I always say 2.5. I say 2.5 because the half one I listened to I wasn't fond of, so that's why it ended up being half. I get, if I'm not fond of something, I don't continue to listen to it. But maybe I just need to go back to it.
That's unusual, because I find things that grow in me. Yeah. You know, like I could dislike a track initially when I hear it the first or second time, but then the third time I'm like, actually I quite like this. Or
yeah, that's why I started at half time, because it's like maybe it just wasn't the mood for me at the moment, at the time. So know what, let me just come back to it because it may just be the mood at the time. I'm not really.
For one, he doesn't have beats. That's my first impression. Is like, okay, these are real songs. Like I really got to listen. And so actually, funny enough, while I was, for those who don't know, I make microphones on the side. And so while I was building a mic here, I was listening to it, and it was a perfect scenario for me, because if it was a beat, I probably wouldn't have listened to it, because I don't want to hear beats. I want to hear some songs, you know what I mean? I just want something to sit in the background I can listen to and go, yeah. And so I felt like taking my engineer hat off, I had to, because I'm a horrible consumer of music. I love music, but I'm not good at following trends and all that kind of stuff. And I felt, for one, it was a good presentation of how to do an EP or an album, to kind of cover bases without sounding so sporadic and like this doesn't match with this. And so it had a nice flow, and I was like, rah. And plus he had some good organic instruments like guitars, and I think there was a good bassist in one of the tracks. I think they were a little heavy-handed with the effects, but I kind of appreciate what they were trying to do, because this project, you can't really compare this project to anything else. And when listening to it, it reminded me of what I love about UK, just UK music in general, but UK hip hop, because we're really diverse, man. Yeah. And like, I'm oversaturated with hip hop over here, and they all sound the same, they all blend the same. You can't confuse him with anybody else. You can't confuse SO, or I want to hear what that Governor B track is going to be, the album, or I don't know if it's a single, but. I'm intrigued for what's going on in the UK. I'm not as intrigued of what's going on over here. You know what I mean?
It's a bustling scene, definitely.
So would you say because there was two songs. There's one with Limo Blaze, which I thought, and then there's one Light Work that I liked as well.
The Light Work I can hear on your show.
Yeah. I like Light Work.
I like Light Work, but it was light. It just wasn't deep. But that's okay. But it piqued my ears, and I was like, "Raw, okay, they're really carving out sounds here, like that I like." I think for me, it's the amalgamation of A Broken Fraction, straight after The Color of Hope, because I see what you're saying about the Limo Blaze one. Yeah. Oh yeah, that one's good. I like that one. Yeah, I actually like that, and this is why I think I like the project, because it had a flow.
Yeah.
It started off like with that drill sound, the UK sound, and then it kind of divulges into kind of a familiar.
And it goes into worship right at the end. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only part that's cliche with UK hip hop now.
Yeah.
So everyone's doing a worship track now, but I like the fact that they can still be hard on one end and then still do that, and that really shows range and diversity for me.
Cass, what have you been hearing?
Me, well, I think I've been all over the shop right now, to be honest, with stuff, but I'm just thinking, like, I've listened to a song. I've been listening to Shardz.
Yeah, that old school sound of grime, isn't it? In its inception, that kind of sound.
That's what I will say. Not but yeah, I've been. That's what I said. I've been all over the shop, been there, and then I've been also listening to. There's an artist, but it's a new artist. It's a female. Her name is Reese last year. I hope I say her name right, but she's American, and she dropped an EP as well, and she's got some good music on there as well. So I've been, just been exploring really, because there's a lot of music starting to come out. I could see them, and it's just just me getting through them really. But I would say I've been all over the shop. I'm being honest. I've been all over the shop, listening to a lot of music. Nothing really specific, I would say, so to speak. But yeah, just
definitely on Shardz. Like I downloaded his album, and it did give me a nostalgic feel.
Yeah,
and that was definitely something I got a lot from that EP.
Yeah,
7 tracks. Again, I don't think he went too deep on that lyrical content, because I think it's based upon that early framework of what grime music was, more or less, punchlines, stabs. There's not much space on 140 to really get out depth of content. You can say a few things, but it's hard to really build a picture because the beat's always driving at you. But every track, you know, just reminded me of that nostalgic grime feel. And it's weird because when you look around like UK Christian hip hop, you don't really see an artist that is actually doing it in that, not to make it sound negative with this term, but you don't hear it in its primitive form. Something that reminds you of, you know, 15 years ago when grime started. But it just took me to a nice place. It took me to a nice place of just like, just my guy just going in, you know. When we went down to the Grand Roots events that he put on, and he was on stage and everyone was just barsing back to back, it was just like, it felt like pirate radio. That's the best. I've never felt that feeling ever before in
a long time, and that's why I could feel
UK Christian like hip hop. I've never felt that ever since like the first time I interacted with it in like 2000, 1999 periods. I never ever came across that feeling, and it was like there was something pure. And he said something to me. He's like, it was a legendary moment where you had like, we've got a picture of like Feed Him in the middle, and then you have like just loads of different artists like spitting bars all around and just waiting for him to finish his bar so they can grab the mic and pass it around. And you had three DJs next to each other, and each one would link into the mains at different points at different times. It was just, honestly, it was phenomenal. I almost felt like they should be clashing, but it's amazing how the event was done, but in God's way. You know, there was no like, yo, I'm coming to shred you on a mic. Every man was shelling on the beat. They were shelling hard on the beat. It was good, man. You know, you even had some young female artists jump up and do their thing and blah, 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 blah. And it was live. It was just, there was something so organic about that event. And on the back of him releasing Grime Roots last year, he then followed up with this, and it just reminds me of that sound that originated in the UK, like from garage, from, you know, toasting and whatnot. It kind of originated, and you got that feel of like, this is us. Like, I really, really love rap music, you know, and that's why I really enjoyed our podcast last time about the difference between grime, rap, and hip hop, and the varying differences. But grime just has a sound. It just has a nostalgic feel of the UK, and I feel like Shardz does capture that in his new EP, Grace, Flows, Bars, and Content. I really does capture it. Again, if you're looking for lyrical depth, you know, you're not going to find it there. But if you're looking for something to really draw you into that space of, oof, hey, my guy.
It sounds like the workout playlist that you made.
Yeah.
I think so. I think that's the kind of tunes to bring to that.
Land, isn't it?
Yeah, 140, man. It's like, it will get you going. Like, like you can't make a playlist, I don't believe, because I like to make playlists on my phone when I'm listening to, like, you know, in the gym and whatnot. So I'll click play. You cannot put D Witness and Shardz in the same playlist. You know, D Witness has got this kind of like introspective, reflective, you know, and then Shardz is more like, yo, boom, 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 punchline, bam, bam, bam. It's just, but again, it's exciting. I'm like, when I think of UK Christian hip hop music and that encompasses grime, drill, whatever it may be, I'm actually excited. My blood jumps because I'm like, things are happening. Different artists are doing their thing, and they're taking control of what they're doing and running off with it, not waiting for someone to co-sign them. They just say, yo, this is what I'm doing. And they're using the Instagrams, the Spotifys, the Facebooks, wherever it may be, they're using it to their advantage. I never know how to end or start these things, I swear that. But we're just going to flow with it.
You did such a good job, though.
Guys, thank you very much for joining me on this episode of Kingdom Culture UKCH podcast. And you have a good one. And we'll see you for the next one. Peace. You're listening to the UK Christian Hip Hop Podcast on Kingdom Culture.